How you doing, my friends? We are working this Matt Kenseth Home Depot 15 years of racing, and I want to apply this decal onto this side. This is the last decal, and I've got everything else done and just need to lay this in place. All I've done is trim this out just a little bit, but I'll show you how I go about putting this on, right? So just, I definitely have to do some trimming, right? So let's go after this. And what I try to do when I'm cutting this out is mark one side a little bit different than the other so I know which direction it goes, because it's almost impossible to see. It's so small. But yeah. Not too concerned about the little black outline for this window because I pre-painted black around the window. So I'm not too concerned about leaving a little bit of the black in place. And I know that top to bottom because there's a little blue decal that's on the bottom there. Okay, so now that I have that, here's the fun part. Let's line this thing up. I pre-painted black along the bottom because I've got some black here. So that doesn't look too bad there. I can see that this might need to tuck a little bit, so I'm going to cut on that side just so I can fold that over a little bit easier when the time comes. Okay. All right. Can see I'm a little bit too big right there in this corner, so I'm going to trim around there. And as you can see, it kind of, this is a little long here, so I want to trim that, and then I need to trim for where the spoiler is. So let's trim here, a little bit here, we'll cut that, we'll see how that goes. I think I'm good everywhere else. Ever so slightly. Cut this up here. And then we'll kind of cut just a little bit here. You can always cut more. You can't cut less. So let's try this. Let's see how this lines up. Okay. I'm looking also to try to line up the red tail light here. Yeah, that's probably pretty good there. cut just a little bit right there. And I think I've got more on this bottom to cut. As I pull it down a little bit to try to line up the red. Just a little bit here. Okay. All right, let's try this again. It's best to do all this cutting and trimming before you get it wet. Okay, right there. If I bring that down a little bit, I'm way big on the bottom. Come on. So that's going to go right there, which would line up the tail lights. I'm still big on the bottom. Okay. Let's try again. Alright, so I have that. I probably should have angled that a little bit more. But okay, I think that's enough to go with. I think I'm good with that. Little overlap, but better a little overlap than no overlap. Alright, so we put in the water. Get this stuff in the water. Lots of water. Okay. Okay, let's see if we have a little bit of movement. Don't want to rush this. Okay, we'll pause it a little bit more. It's not ready. Okay, let's see how we are now. Oh yeah, we're ready. Okay. Always concerned about this, like this skinny piece right here, right? Want to make sure it doesn't fold back over on itself, so kind of make sure that has a good, yeah, that's in place. Okay. Got my microsole ready. Not sure I'll need it. It's sat enough in the water where I'm not sure I'll need the microsole. And guys, you know I say this all the time, but it's just best not to rush this stuff. You know, take your time, enjoy your hobby, and you know, sure, you know, you want to get the car done, you want to move on to a different car when you're done, and but you know, take your time. Take your time, no rush. Enjoy making it. Always look for ways to improve. Never think you've arrived. that is one thing I'll say about this particular hobby is it will humble you. It's kind of like people that, are playing golf. Golf is a very humbling sport. But this will humble you as you strive for perfection. You strive to do it and just get everything to line up perfectly, You can see I was a little bit off on that. I was thinking I wasn't cutting enough, and I actually cut a little too much right there. You can see it's a little bit, I wish it was a little bit more so it would line up with this coming across here. You can see how it just comes up a little short, but oh well. It's too late now. I can try to pull it back a little bit, but it's not really going to do much. Another trick I could do is I could make another pass with the black spoiler to try to knock this down a little bit. I may have to do that. We'll see. Because I like to have a nice, seamless, symmetrical and consistent line that goes across there. Don't like it, disjointed a little bit on that back spoiler, but let's get a little bit of the microsole here. I like to get that to lay in there. That's looking good there. I like that. Okay. Got a lot of water hidden behind there. Got that laying there nicely. As it kind of folds over, remember I cut right along here just to make sure that folds and it doesn't stick up a little bit right there. So that looks good. Right. What are we doing here? Just a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. Just a little bit more. It's one thing when you put the microsole on it, it gets a little tacky, a little sticky. So you got to be careful your fingers don't stick to it when you're moving things around, when you're putting your fingers on it. Because like it does, it softens it up, makes it a little tacky, so you gotta be careful. So I try to pull, not push on these things, so. What are we doing up here? Okay, doesn't look too bad. Got a couple little creases right here. Not too bad. Okay, it looks good. I don't have any white sticking out or anything like that. I don't have a lot of overlap there. So that's good. I'm happy with that there. Let's see what I can do with these little creases here. This likes to kind of rise up a little bit right on this corner. Pretty happy with that, guys. Pretty happy with that. Let's get these little pieces on. Finish this guy up. That to kind of come around there. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Sometimes these little pieces they're not very flexible to like curl like this. So we'll just do that. And there we go, guys. That's the last few pieces to put on this car. I'm thinking this was his 2014. I'm getting a little mixed up between 2014 and 2013. But I think this is his 2014 car. Playoff car with the yellow, if you remember. Yellow banner, yellow number on the roof. This was one of the last times Home Depot was in NASCAR. I think this was his Talladega car. But yeah, pretty happy with it. Decaling is done. I will set it aside. Don't touch it for like a day. Let everything dry nice and smooth. Make sure everything's crisp and clean. And I'll come back and we'll work out. Looks like it just raised up a little bit right here. So make sure that's pushed down here. And once it's all dry, then I'll start putting a few coats of clear sealer on it. I already put a coat here on the top here, this area, but real light coat. But once it gets all dry, I'll be able to seal it up. And then I think the roof lines are black. I'll have to double check that. Make sure I touch up the hood pins and just, kind of give it a once over. Look at some pictures. Make sure that I'm tracking with all those finishing touches. And we'll get that over to Michael. As you can see, I've got this matte tiffed truck done, Joey. Just a matter of sealing it up now. Working this Fantasy number 54 monster truck next. That'll be cool. Kyle Busch Rowdy monster truck. So that's coming along nice. Real happy with it. Pre-painted around here where this gonna put these pieces on. But this is the Color Shot little black dress. You can see how it's got that sparkly look to it. Whereas the standard black Rust-Oleum is, and I've got a coat of clear sealer on both of them. So, yeah. I've got a quick update. These cars are pretty much all ready to JB weld now. I've got them reassembled after being painted. Those were the the 2022s that I had opened up the other day. Figured I'd just do black and set them aside. Got all these going to be worked here real soon. A lot of JB Weld to do. I think, what, 5 cars, 6, 7 cars to do. Yeah, so that's what's up, guys. Hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you in the next video.